I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast.
Like what Ferris said, business also moves pretty fast. And if you're not using a podcast to communicate with your audience, you're missing out on a huge opportunity to build your brand online. In 2024 and 2025, having a podcast isn't just some fun idea. It is a crucial, necessary component of your online presence. Today, we're going to discuss how using a podcast is a great way to build brand loyalty, engage new listeners, find new potential customers, and position yourself as a thought leader in your industry. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Quinn from The Podcast Consultant, and today we're answering that big question. Why should you have a podcast? It's more than just a fun marketing add-on. Podcasts are becoming a core feature of most business strategies worldwide. Remember how Marty McFly's DeLorean opened up the future for him? In the same way, starting a podcast can open up a brand new future for your business.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more pro tips from podcast professionals like us here at The Podcast Consultant. Be sure to stick around until the end of this video, as I'm going to give you one pro tip that'll help you take a podcast and integrate it into your marketing efforts without overloading your team. With all that said, let's dive in. Here's why podcasts are essential for your business. One of the first advantages of having a podcast is that it allows you to find potential listeners that you may otherwise not through conventional media. And it's during these types of activities that podcasts are most consumed. Their convenience is unmatched. In a world where you can't escape how much information is constantly bombarding you, podcasts allow you to reach potential customers and listeners exactly where they are. Another great thing about podcasts is that it helps build deeper connections, not just with your audience, but also internally with your company. When people hear your voice, they feel a personal connection to you and your brand. This builds trust, which is key to converting listeners into customers. And not only that, but if you're an employee and you have an internal podcast, it's a great way to get to know your higher-ups and feel like you have a personal connection with them. It's like a weekly conversation with a great friend, and over time, those connections get deeper. It's more personal than a blog and more intimate than a social media post. Another advantage to having a podcast is simply thought leadership. Podcasts are a great way to showcase your knowledge and expertise in a given sector. By consistently sharing insights, tips, and interviews with experts, you position yourself as the go-to resource in your field. Another advantage to having a podcast is that once you've recorded your episode, you can repurpose it into so many different types of content. We do a deep dive on how to do that and the different types of content you can make in a video right here. From a single podcast episode, you can take that and transcribe it, create show notes, have a blog post, audiograms, social media clips, you name it. Here at The Podcast Consultant, we have dedicated services for taking your podcast episodes and providing social media packages, audiograms, clips, and things like that. You can check all of that out in the link below. And finally, a podcast is a great way to improve your business's SEO and discoverability. Many podcast directories are searchable, so with the right titles, keywords, and show notes, you might lead people back to your website who otherwise may not have found it. Additionally, uploading a podcast episode to YouTube, even if it's audio only, is just another place your business may be found. So, now that we've helped convince you that having a podcast is important, let's go back over everything quick and then I'll give you that pro tip. To summarize, here's why you need a podcast in 2024 and beyond. Number 1, you can reach a broader audience that you may not be able to with conventional media. 2, you can build deeper, more personal connections, not just with potential customers, but even your staff. Number 3, you can showcase your experience and position yourself as a thought leader in your industry. Number 4, once you have a podcast, you can repurpose that content across multiple different platforms. Number 5, and I kind of just mentioned it, here's that pro tip. Start with the podcast and build your social media strategy out from there. Use each episode as the foundation of your blog posts, social media content, and even your email marketing. This way, instead of trying to fit all of your existing content around your podcast, all you have to do is make the podcast and the rest of your content essentially makes itself. If you want help starting a podcast or improving your existing podcast, you can book a free discovery call with us here at The Podcast Consultant in the link below. We'd love to help you build a show that reaches a broader audience and puts your business on the map. We have no greater joy than helping you share your message and your story with the world. And take the hard parts out of podcasting. That way you can get back to having great conversations with engaging guests and share your brand with listeners and viewers online. Thanks for watching. How do you use a podcast to grow your business? We'd love to hear it. Let us know in the comments below. Can't wait to catch y'all in the next episode. Thanks for watching and happy recording.